Okay, so fine, we'll start now. So let me share my screen.
Your voice is low. Could you please check your mic?
Just just a minute. Is it clear now?
Yeah, better than.
Is it audible? Okay, thank you. In last sessions, what we have done, so just we saw that, so how to create a trial account, right? So and then, so what are the options we have in a Snowflake? So we saw that. So just a tool introduction. That's it. Now, today, what we are going to do is we'll see. So how to create a
I can't hear you. Okay.
Dinesh, we can't hear you.
He's on mute. Looks like.
no, sorry guys,
Dinesh.
it
Okay.
got disconnected. It got disconnected. Sorry for that. Okay, fine. So now, so today agenda is what we are going to do is we'll see. So we have a file here. We have one is text file, another one
I'm
is a CSV file.
I'm
Yeah,
These
please
two
sorry.
share your
files,
Sorry.
screen.
Share your. Yeah.
just, just a minute, just a minute. Okay, I think everyone can able to view my screen now. Okay, fine. So these are the two files here. So we have. So our agenda is whatever the data we have there in these files, we need to load it into our Snowflake tables. Snowflake tables. So if you want to load any data into the tables, so what we required? So we required a table structure, right? Let me log into Snowflake account, so which we have created in previous session. Come here and when you give the link, so it will ask you the username and password, right? I hope everyone has created the trial account.
Yes, I did.
Now we are logging into the account. When you log in, by default, it will be with a system admin. The role will be system admin. So next going forward, we will see that how to create a different roles, how to create a different users and everything. So now here, so we have, so we created a database in the last sessions. How we created a database? If you go to the database and we have a create option here. We have create option here. And one more thing, if you observe, so here, whatever the database we created in previous session, we cannot able to see. So because of, so yesterday we created, so with the role called account admin. Now, if I change the role here to account admin, now we can able to see that, observe this, the database which we have created. Okay. Now in this database, what we have done, we created a table by using create option. By using create option, we created a table. So this is a, so one sample table we have created. Now let's see now what the requirement is. So here we have a files here, right? This file, we need to load it into our Snowflake table. Then if you want to load the data into the tables, the structure should be available, right? So this one, if you observe this particular table, we have ID, name, and then location, right? If you want to see the description of the table, so no need to type describe table. Here, just click on the table. You will get the description of the table. If you want more information about the table description, just click on this three dots icon. And here, preview data, we know that it will give you the table information, the data. first 100 records only with the preview, and then view details. So this one, view details, it will give you the information about column names and then data types, column names and data types, and all the other information. And here, so place name in SQL means it will give you the complete address of that particular table. Let's observe this here. So click on this place name in SQL, then it will give you the complete address of the table, table name, schema name, database name. Now here our requirement is, these are the files, we need to load it into our Snowflake table, but table structure should be available, then only we can able to do that, right? So now this worksheet, so we open the worksheet and see this one here. The worksheet is not connected to any database, it's not connected to any schema, right? First, what we need to do, if you want to work with this database, we need to connect to the database and then we need to select the schema. To select that, so no need to select manually here. You can do it manually by selecting this option. Another option is, what you can do is just go to the schema here, click on the schema and then select set as context. Set as context. When you do this, observe this, what happened? Selected database is selected and then schema is selected. Now we are in this particular database and then we are in this particular schema. Now we will see how to load the data by using GUI option, by using GUI option, by using completely graphical user interface, whatever the option the Snowflake has given for us, from the table creation to table loading. Now first thing is, if you want to load the data, we need a table structure. We need a table structure in Snowflake, right? So let's create it. So if you want to know the table structure, so we need to see the file. Now this is the file. Let's assume this is the file. If you want to load, just open the file. When you open the file, see this one, this is the data. Employee ID, name, salary, employee age, and then employee location. Let's assume this. This is the data. When you have this data, the same structure, it should be available in our table. Then only we can able to load. And these are the data. Before that, let me give you some information about this file. This file is, if you observe, this is a delimiter, right? What is separating in between the column to column? We will call it as a delimiter. This is comma separate delimiter. In place of comma, if it is a file, sorry, if it is a pipe, then we will call it as a pipe separated delimiter. Pipe separated delimiter. Now, in place of comma, if you have so other thing, so for the complete file, it should be with the same delimiter. Then only it is a, we can call it as a valid file. Valid file. Now this is comma separated delimiter, and first row is a column names. Remaining things is a data, right? First row is the column names. Remaining is data. Now our requirement is, we need to load this data in Snowflake tables. Now this is the column names. If you want to create the structure, generally what we will do in other database, we will use create table, table name, and then column names. So that also we can do it here. But let's see how to do it by using GUI options. Now come to the database here. Come to the database icon. You can able to see the database icon here. Come to the database icon. Click on this, and we have a create option here in the table section. Table, view, schema, and then stages, everything we can create. Come to the table section. In the table section, create option is there. Create option, right? Click on that create option. When you click on create option, it will ask you the table name based on the data what we are having, right? This is the employees data. Let's give table name as EMP. We have created a table name as EMP. And what are the columns we required? By default, it will be selected only one schema. So because the database is having only one schema, we didn't created any other schemas. Now let it be by default schema. And comments, if you want to give some information about the table, for example, so this is related to, so employees details. Okay, just we have given some information. And what are the columns we required? Now observe this, how many columns we have in this particular file? So 5 columns, right? Okay, let's create 5 columns. 5 columns. Now what about the column names? Let's come here and then copy the column names. I'm copying column names here and just give the column name. And then another thing, column name. This is the another column name, employee name, and then employee name. Another column name, employee salary. Just copying, just creating a table structure here. Sorry, not copied properly. Yeah. Another one, employee age. Another one, employee location. Okay. Now here, employee ID, the data types, right? Employee ID you can give integer, and then remaining data types, employee name, string, and then salary. So you can give again. So integer you can give, and so age again you can give integer, and then location string. So these are the data types we have. Now we have these column names, and then we have the data types, and then we have given the table name. These are the main things what we need to give. This is optional. It is not required also. It is optional. If you want to give, you can give. Otherwise, leave it. When you click on
Quick,
finish, what will happen? Sorry.
quick
Table
question.
will be created.
The ordering of the column name always match with the data we are loading.
Yes,
Okay.
it will load.
And
We
can't we
will see
create
that.
any kind of primary key or something?
Okay, so we don't have primary and then foreign key concepts in a Snowflake. So we don't have only one constraint, that is null constraint. It will not enforce you to maintain primary key and foreign key here in a Snowflake. So only one thing is that is null constraint. But
Okay,
logically you
if
can define primary key and foreign key. If you want the references, then we can define it. Okay. Going
okay,
forward,
like
we will
if I
see
want
that
to,
also how to
yeah,
manage
if I
the
want to
things.
create,
Yeah.
yeah, if I want to create something like a uniqueness for the column, right? In the real
Mm,
world, it will be
mm.
like that only, right? So
Yes, exactly.
how would we be achieving in there?
We will see that. So we'll come to
Okay,
that one. Okay.
okay.
I will go slowly, one by one.
Means
So
just
now
wanted to
what
know
we are
like
doing.
is there any kind of thing available in there?
So here, no, here we don't have anything. So if you want like that, then we need to create it in a SQL script.
Okay,
Okay. So we'll create a table scripts, right? So there we can edit. Otherwise,
okay,
so we can see the show SQL here, right? This one. So it will give you the information what we are doing here, right? When you are creating a table. So this one you can able to edit that also. So that is another option. Okay. Now see this here. What we have done. So here we are. Give just a minute. Here we have given the column names and then table name and then data types we have given here. Now when you click on finish, what will happen? The table will be created. So if you want to modify, so any column names later, you can able to do that. Okay. And so if you want to create any keys, so then you can write a script. So we'll see that in the next classes how to create a table name by using script also. Now here, if you click on show SQL, it will tell you, so what is the SQL statement it is writing in the backend for this particular uh, options what we have selected. Now let's close this. Now click on finish. Now observe this one. When you click on finish, what will happen? The table structure will be created. The table structure is created now. If you want to see the table structure, let's come to the worksheet here and then refresh it. You can able to see the EMP table structure. See this one. So here, so it is telling that when it has been created and then who created this and then how many number of records we are having, right? If you want to see the data types and then the column names, you can able to see the data types and then column names what it has taken. Okay. Now what is our requirement here? So we need to load this particular file into this particular table. Now the table structure is available. Next, what we need to do? we need to load this file data into this. To load this, we have option called here load table option. Now observe this one. Click on, come to the again, come to the database. Again, come to the click on a table. You have load table option, right? We have a load table option. Please see this one, GUI option. Click on this load table. Click on this, and it will ask you. So by default, warehouse at this moment, just assume that this is nothing but a compute compute warehouse, compute area. We can say that, okay, let me show you something. When you are executing anything, when you are executing any query for the processing, it will ask you the compute layer. This is nothing but a warehouse. This particular thing it is talking about. Warehouse, we have some other properties like, so we can create, we can select the t-shirt sizes and all. Nothing but a, we can assume that EC2 instances. So if you have any idea on EC2, otherwise just assume that this is a compute layer for the like a pricing calculation purpose. How much time we are using this, based on that it will so charge from the Snowflake users. This is a compute layer. For example, if you want to connect to our organization applications, what we are going to do, we will connect with the remote desktops or VDAs, right? So the same thing, we will call it as a compute layer here, this particular thing. That's why it is asking here also, when you click on load table, so what is your compute warehouse layer? So this is the warehouse. By default, it has created for us. Now, once this warehouse is selected, when you click on next, so this one source file, where your file is available. So we have two options here. One is, so load files from your local computer. Load files from your local computer. Another one is load files from external stage. If your file is available in your local system, then we will call it as a, so here the load files from local computer. And suppose if your file is available in external stages means if it is available in any cloud locations, let's say AWS, Azure, or GCP. Now just observe this one here. Here, the load files from external stages, when you click on this, when you click on this plus icon, you can able to see so what are the external stages it is available. Okay, so going forward we are going to see all these things also, how to so pick the files from these the cloud locations. Now AWS, so Amazon S3 location, and then Azure location, and then GCP location. If the files is available here in these cloud locations, we will see how to pick the things and then how to load these. We will call it as a external stages. External stages. Now this one, this is a local file. So whatever the file where it is available in our local system. Now select the file, click on the select file, and so it will ask you where the file is available. This one, right? The file is available in this folder. This is the path where our file is available. So let's pick the file and then, sorry, pick the file and then click open. Click open. So now this file has been selected here. This file selected, and click on next. When you click on next, observe this, what it is asking. It is asking file format. File format means, for example, when you observe this file, as a human we can understand this particular first row is a column names. First row is column names, and remaining thing are data. Remaining thing, these are the data, and this one is a comma separate delimiter. Comma separate delimiter. And when it is coming to the new line, we need to consider as a, it is a separate row. It's a new row. New row means when it is coming to the new line, it is a new row. And this is the header, column header, and comma separate delimiter. These are all the things. By seeing this, we can able to understand. But how come the Snowflake will understand? So this is a comma separated file, and then this particular first line it has to consider as a header, and then remaining things whenever it is coming to the new line, so it has to consider as a the new row. These things we need to define. That's why it is asking file format. So here, So newly we are loading. We didn't created any file format here. Let's create a file format. Now click on this plus symbol. It will create a file format. Click. See this one. It is asking the name. Just give. We will give the same file format. Okay. And the schema name, the default schema name, and observe the format types: CSV, comma separated values, CSV budget normal, comma separated values, and what all the other files it will support. See this one: JSON format, XML, Avro, OOC, and then Parquet. So everyone is familiar with CSV file format and then XML. So these are the common files we will use. But JSON, Avro, OOC, and then Parquet, these are semi-structured files. Snowflake will allow us to load structured files as well as semi-structured files, but Snowflake is not for unstructured file formats. It's not for unstructured file formats. We cannot able to deal with unstructured files in Snowflake. Only the files, so with the structured format, and then semi-structured files only. Now let's select the file. Our file is a CSV, and compression method, this is no need to select. Automatically it is going to compress the data when it is keeping the file into Snowflake. Automatically it will do. So when we are doing this in a stage times, I will show you so which compression method it is going to use, and then how it will be reduce the file size. And column separator, next one is column separator. This one, observe this. This is a, what is it is taking comma. Comma is a column separator here. If you have any other separator, for example pipe, vertical bar, or tab, or any others, for example if you have semicolon or hash symbol, then you can select others and then you can give hash symbol like that. But here it is a comma. Comma is the separator, right? And row separator, observe this: row separator. What is the row separator? Here in this file, what is the row separator? When it is coming to the new line, then that is a row separator, right? So that's why, so this is a new line. Okay, so if anything, so other than anything, for example, you need to consider, so when you will get it details from the source team, and it means who is sending the files to us. So they will tell us, so this is a row separator. So then we can give the some specific things, but here it is a new line. And another option, observe this: header lines to skip. Header lines to skip. Header lines to skip, what we have, it is by default it is 0. But why we need to skip the headers here? If you observe in this file, the first line is not your data. First line is not your data, it is a column names, right? That's why we need to skip this header lines. So when we are loading, and remaining things we need to load. So if you want to do that, then we have to select one here. We have to select one. So this one, so some in interview questions they will ask how to skip first 5 lines from a file when I am loading. Then what you can do is, in a header lines to skip, if you give some number, first 2 or first 3, it will skip those files. It is not possible the last or middle or whatever it may be. First 5 lines only we can able to skip that. Okay, so remember this. Then so remaining all the options are common. Okay, only the thing what we need to concentrate here: file format, and then column separator, and then row separator, then header lines to skip. Header lines to skip. Whatever the options we are giving here, for everything, so it will create a script. See this one in the backend, it will create a script here. Okay, we will discuss in detail so how the script will work also. Now, so these are the options we have selected. Then when you click on finish, file format will be created. Now observe this, the file format is created. Then next, click on next. When you click on next, okay, we have given a source file, then we have selected a file format, then it is asking us to load options. It is asking us to load option. What is the default one here? See this: stop loading, rollback, and return errors. This is the default option. No need to select anything here. Stop loading, roll back, and return the error. Right? This is the option. So what it is having. This one, what it will do is, if you have any error in the file what we are loading, it will not load any data to the table, and then it will return the, it will show us the errors. That is the meaning of this. And if you want to create only source file and then file event, after that I don't want to load, just I want to skip this process. After this, then just select do not load any data in the file. So then when you select this, then it will not load anything. Okay, just to create a file format, and then so then we were going to use this. Then another option is, see this one, this is a threshold limit. We will call it as a threshold limit. Do not load any data in the file if the error count exceeds. If the error count exceeds, if you give 2, then what it will do is, it will up to 2 errors it will allow. After that, it will skip the loading. If you give 3 here, up to 3 errors it will allow. After that, it will skip. Okay. So maybe we will get a question here. So when the file is not valid file, or if you have a error records, why we need to load those records? Why we need to load those records? Let's say if you want to understand, so what is the reason in that particular the load, what is the reason of the error, then we will use this option. Okay, if you want to identify the error, so other than the it is sending the details, if you want to see that error in the table, then we can able to use this threshold. It will allow up to 2. After that, it will stop. Okay, it will stop loading the data. Now another option, we need to see only, we want to load only valid data, and we want to ignore invalid files, invalid data in the file. If you have 10 records, one record is error record, then all the 9 records it has to load, it has to ignore the error. Then we can use continue loading data from the file if you have error also. What is the default action it is selected here? Stop loading and roll back return errors. This is the default option which it is selected. So based on our requirement, we can use any other option, but this is the default one. Once we select this load option, then when you click on load, it will load the file, whatever the file we have selected, that file it will load it into our table. Before loading that, see this, what happened in the backend, show SQL. This is very important. Let me copy this and keep it here. I will explain this. Now let's come to this one. What it is doing is copy into the database. This is the schema, and then this is the table. From this one, you will call it as a stage area. You will come to that, what it means by that. And so here it is telling that file format which we have created. We created a file format, right? The file format it is telling. Then on error equal to abort statement. This option we have selected in, so last load option, on error equal to abort statement, and purge equal to true. So purge equal to true, by default it has selected. Purge equal to true means once the file loaded into the table, it will remove it from the stage area. The stage area means here, in when you are doing this, when you are loading the data, when you are loading the file into the table by using these options, it will not allow you to load directly into the table. What we have is, the process is approach is, the file first it will load it into a stage area. From the stage area, it is going to load it into the table. This is the approach. When you are loading in Snowflake, always remember, first it will load the file to the stage area. From the stage area, it will load it into the table. Remember this. Now, so maybe we'll get, so why we need to, again, we need to keep the files into the stage area. We can directly load it in the table. Yes, we can do that. But the thing is, there is a reason for the stage area. So always when we are keeping a file in the stage area, if you want to do some cleansing activities, or if you want to see validations, we will see that in the next classes. So maybe, so in the second class and then third class, we will see that validations also, how to do the validations. So if you want to identify error records in a file, and then you want to use the file, or if you have the list of 5 files, we want to load only the valid files, you want to skip the invalid files, then all these things we can able to perform it in a stage area. That's why by default we have a stage area. What we need to do is, when it is loading the file, we need to keep the file into the first stage area. From the stage area, we are going to copy the data into the table. This is the process. Same thing in above scripts also it is giving. See this one, put file from this is the path. This is the path where our file is available. This text file, emp text file, it is available in this path. From this path, pick the files. Put file means it's a command to pick the file and then keep it in. This is represent the stage area. This represents stage area. So next we will see, so how to see the data in the stage area, and then what are the different types of stage area we have, what is the restriction of the stage area, and then how to handle with that. We will see that. Now at this moment, just remember this is a stage area. Now, so first, what is this? This file, it is keeping into the stage. That is the first line. That is the first line. Once it's keep into the stage area, once the file is available in the stage area, whatever the file we are going to load, this particular file, if it is available in stage area, then we are going to load from stage to the table. So we are going to use copy command. See this one, for that, copy into, this represents the table, copy into the table from, this is the stage area. Observe this same number, right? This is the stage area. This represents the stage area. From the stage, you are copying the file into this particular table. This particular table. When it is copying, we are telling to the Snowflake, you need to use this file format. This file format. What is the file format we have created here? We are telling that in a file format, you need to skip the first record, first row, and then this is a comma separated delimiter. Every new line, it has to consider it as a, every new line, it has a new row, right? And then our loading option we have given on error equal to abort statement. On error equal to abort statement we have given. So purge is the default thing. So this is the best practices. One of the best practices we will discuss again. So now this is the command what it has written in the backend, right? Okay. So now let's come to this, the load option here. Now when you click on load, observe what is happening. Just when you click on load, it is going to load the files from our local path to this particular table. Now observe one thing here. Once it is showing the load result here, you can able to see rows parsed, and we can able to see rows loaded. Rows parsed means how many rows it has been picked, how many rows it has been picked, and then how many rows it has loaded into the table. From a file, how many rows it has picked, and then how many rows it has loaded into the table. So that is rows parsed and rows loaded. It is 4 records it picked from the file, and then 4 records it's loaded into the table. Now click OK and come to the worksheet again. If you want to see the data, come to the worksheet and then refresh it. If you want to see the changes, we need to refresh. If you observe, see this one, still it is showing in EMP table 0, right? 0 records. Now let's refresh it here. Then you can able to see the data here, right? If you want to see that, so you can give preview option. Preview also you can able to see the data from the table, or you can write select star from. So what is the table name? EMP, right? Anyway, we connected to this class and then we connected to public. Now if you observe one thing here, see this one, this, the warehouse is active. This one is a active. This is turned into green means you are utilizing this warehouse. Now when you select this also, you can able to see the data. Just a minute. Okay. Now observe this. If you want to run this SQL command, so just select this and then run. Otherwise, another shortcut is you can use control enter. You can use control enter. Okay. So now, so what we have done, so we have loaded from the starting. So first we created a file structure, right? Table structure for this. Once the table structure is created with the column names and then data types. So here where we have done that, went to the database and then we have come to the database and then here we have created a table by using this option. Once the table is created, then we clicked on the table and then we clicked on the load table option. Then warehouse by default it's selected. Next we selected the source file, the path where the file is available, this particular path. Then once the file is selected, we created a file format. We created file format. So after the file format, we selected the load option. Then it has loaded the data into the table. These are the things what we have done. Okay. Now, so one thing we need to remember here, every file we cannot able to load by using this load table option, or we can say that by using GUI option, by using this the user interface option. There is a restriction. If the file is greater than 50 MB of your 50 MB of the file, you cannot able to load by using this GUI option. Then it will be restricted, so it will not allow you to so load the if the file is greater than 50 MB. Okay, then so what is the solution for that? So maybe every time you may not receive the less than 50 MB of the files, right? So then our solution is for that we need to connect with CLI. We need to use a put command. If the file is greater than 50 MB, we have to work with command line interface, or we will call it as a SnowSQL. SnowSQL. So only the thing is when you are going to work with CLI is here only two times. When you are implementing, when you are uploading the file, we will use a put command. Put command. So for greater than 50 MB of the file, at the same time, so greater than 50 MB of the file. So when you are downloading, when you are unloading, this is for uploading. This is for uploading, right? What we have done is upload. We have uploaded the file into the table, right? So by using this, see this one, so by directly put command, it has given, it has written in the backend, right? So these things, same thing. So when you are doing that, so by using our scripts, using our SQL command, it will not allow you to load the data by using this worksheets. It will not allow you to run the data in the worksheet by using put command. Put command will not work here in the worksheet. At the same time, put command, when you are uploading, when you are unloading, you are going to use get command. These two things will not work in your GUI. Just remember this. To run put and to run get, these two things will not work in GUI. To work with these put commands and so this get commands, when you are uploading greater than 50 MB of the file and when you are downloading, see this here, we have an option, right? Unloading or downloading means, so the whatever the data is available in the tables, if you want to get it into your local system, so this one, so download option, you can able to see the download option. When you click on this download option, you have two things. One is tab separated values, another one is comma separated values. It will based on the selection. If you select tab separated values, it will download the file in the tab separated value format. If you select CSV, it will download the file in CSV format. So let's select any one format and then export. When you click on that, see this one, the file is downloaded. You can able to see the file in our local system. Whatever the data is available, the same data, it will be here. Okay. Now, one more thing. Sorry. One more thing what we can do is, so we can copy. Here it is downloading, right? So there is a restriction for that download also. What is the restriction? Again, greater than 50 MB of the file, we cannot able to download directly. So that is, so in that case, if the data is greater than 50 MB, so in the table, so we need to keep it in our local system. Then again, we have to come to the get command. Put command is for uploading, get is for downloading. Okay, that is fine. And another option we have is a copy. Copy means just it will copy into the clipboard. If it is less records, like less than 50 MB, we can use copy. When you click on copy, it will copy it into the clipboard. But remember one thing, when you click on copy, always it will be copied in tab separated value format only tab separated value format. So when you are downloading, you will have a TSV and then CSV. So in certification question, they will ask, so when you are unloading a file, so what is the below options? So you can select. So what is the options you can able to select? It means they will give CSV and then tab separated format and then some other Avro format and then some other file format they will give. So but you have to select. So that these two options, one is tab separated value, another one is CSV. This is for downloading. When you are copying, always it will be in a TSV format, tab separated value format. See this one. So when you move the mouse on the copy result in tab separated value format only. Now just I clicked on the copy. This is the file which we have like downloaded. Close it. Now come to this and then just observe how the tab separated things will be copied. See this one, this file it copied in the, this is a tab separated format, right? Each and everything in between the space will be a tab, each and everything in between the column to column, so this is a tab, right? That's why this is a tab separated value format. Okay, so now here, for example, if you want to load the same file again one more time, we can able to load it here by using the load option. Let's observe this. But when you are using that by using the commands, we cannot able to. So because of this purge command, what the purge command will do is here, once the file loaded into the table, now if you observe, the data is available here, right? Data is available in this particular table. It means the file loaded into the table. Once the file loaded into the table, what it will do is, in the back end, it will remove the file from the stage area. Once it is removed the file from the stage area, again when you are doing this process, it will consider as a again that is a new file, and then again new file will be loaded into the stage area. Then it will allow you to load. The normally from the stage area, if you try to copy the same file one more time, it will not allow. It will not allow the same file to load the data into the same table. But here by using GUI option, we can able to load. See this one, load table. Again, let's select the same file. Select the file. Same file we are selecting. Click open and then click on next. And then again the same file format we can use. Next, load option, you can select anything. For example, see this, if I select this one or if I select any others, okay. Now observe the show SQL. See this one. So skip on error, skip file 0, right? It means so the threshold, right? Previously, what is the thing? On error abort statement, right? Based on the selection, this statement will change. Now let's say, for example, select this one, continue loading the valid data. Then observe this, see this one, on error equal to continue. If any errors occurs when it is loading, so just continue loading the data, don't stop loading the data. That is the meaning of this, right? Let it be, you can select anything and then click on a load. Again, it will pick the same files. Again, it will pick the same file. Again, it is going to keep the file into the stage area, Then from the stage area, it is going to copy the data from stage area into this particular table, copy into this particular table by using the file format. So by using this abort statement option, right? So now let's observe this one here. See this, so we can able to see the four same records, right? Now come and then check the data in the table, refresh it here, and then see this, we have 8 records, right? You can check the data here, click on this option and then preview data. When you click on preview data, you can able to see that, right? Okay, now if you want to, so there is a restriction, right? When you are loading, or when you are downloading. And one more thing, when you click on preview, you will not get an option as download option. Only when you use select star from table, then only you will get the option, download option. Preview, you will not get the option. What is the difference between preview and then select? Two things. One is preview data is restricted only for first 100 records, limit 100 records, and you will not have a download option. But when you use select star from, it will give you all the records, and at the same time you can have a download option. If you want to see what the, when you give the preview, right, for every statement what you are giving, every option what you are selecting, in the back end it will return a script. If you want to see that, come to the history tab. This history, it will be available 14 days. The all the logs, whatever we are doing here, it will be available only 14 days. So please remember this. Okay, this is one of another certification question. Only the history, at the same time when you are discussing the stage also the files will be available 14 days only. That anyway we will see that in the next classes. Now if you observe the command what we have executed somewhere, see this one, this is for preview. Again, limit 100, everywhere you can able to see limit 100, right? This is for preview. When you click on preview, by default it will be limited to 100 records. By default it will limited to 100 records. If you want to execute the statement with only the 10 records, you can give here limit 2, you can give limit 1, then it will be like only one record it will display, or two records, whatever the limit you are giving, those many number of records it will select. So that is a difference here. Now, so what, so we have to do is, so we have another file here, right? Okay, so I have, so all your email IDs, I will send these two files to you. What you have to do is, in your system, in your account, just try to load the option, and then when you are trying to load the same option what we have executed here, the same thing, so you have to implement it in your, so trial account. Okay, so if you have any questions, we will discuss again. Okay, please note it down. Okay, so we will stop it here. Any questions in this particular session from anyone?
Yeah, hi Dinesh, this is Arvind. So you load the data second time into the table, right? So
Correct.
so duplicates are loaded into table, right?
Correct.
So how
Hmm.
to
That is true. Hmm.
yeah, that is what I'm wondering. So two times the records got loaded. So and one more
Correct.
thing, you give the purge option is true, right?
Hmm.
I didn't understand
Hmm.
the purge
Hmm.
concept. Can you please repeat it again?
Sure, sure. I will explain. So generally, so by default, it will be there. By default, purge option will be there. The meaning of purge is, what it will do is, in the backend. In the next session, you will understand clearly about this. Just I will try to explain. What it will do is purge whatever the file you are going to keep. Here, the file, right? This file, first it will load it into the stage area. Now, in this stage area, so let's assume that emp file, emp.txt, right? This file is available. Okay. From this file, it will copy into the table. Once it is copied into the table, copied, once it is copied, it means the data has been loaded into the table. Once the data loaded into the table, the purge command will do is, it will remove the file from the stage area. That's it. That is the reason of the purge here.
Okay.
Okay.
From stage
Every
it is
time,
yeah.
in the backend, automatically it will remove the file, because whatever the data we are keeping in the stage area, Snowflake will charge for that. So that is another story. Anyway, we will discuss again. So there is a
But you
your
kept
one.
that purge is true now. So the second time you are loading, the same data is loaded
Hmm,
now. So when you kept that
correct.
purge is true,
Again,
so you should not have
yeah.
load the data two times now.
No, no. So what you are doing again, when you are doing the load option from the starting, again it will do. Again, what it will do, it will execute from here. Again, it will keep the file into the stage. So from the again it will, so see this one, the execution. So it will pick the
Yeah.
file from the path. Again, it will keep it in the stage. Again, next time when you are doing, again the same file, emp.txt will come into the stage area. Again,
With the new
second time it
number.
is loaded. Second time, yeah, with the new number. So
So
extend.
the
So here
EMP
the
forward slash
file
that
name will
number is
be
there now.
the new extension. Exactly. With the timestamp it will come. Okay, I will show you in the stage area how it will each and every file when you are loading. So there will be MDM function will be written, and then every time it will load with a new timestamp and a new MDM function. Then it will consider it as a new file.
So question
Okay.
here, Dinesh.
Mm.
You're loading the same emp.txt 2 times into the table.
Mm.
So
Correct.
there will be a duplicate file into the table. Final table is nothing but your target table where the final data is there. Correct?
Correct.
So
Mm.
it will, how the duplicacy, same data is loading twice. So
Correct. Exactly.
there will be a data redundancy, right? In the target table.
That is true.
That's not a good practice, right?
That is true, Prabhakar. So just for the understanding purpose, we have executed the same file 2 times to give the clarity on this purge command. Okay. And then, so what is the process in the backend? Generally, we will not do that. So when we are
Okay.
working with a state, right, I will explain
Mhm.
you. So how
Okay.
to like pick only the individual files. It means the unique files. Once the file loaded, okay, what will happen is, so if you not executing this purge, what will happen is, if you try to load the same file one more time, it will not allow you to load same file one more time into the same table. Okay, so just it will skip the file. It will understand from the back end. It will check. So with them, that's why in when we are discussing in the stage area, we will so be very clear on that. Okay, I will give you the complete information with all the scenarios. If you have the duplicate files here, if you have some so 10 to 20 files if you are loaded, so how to load it into a table. So only the file which is not loaded. Okay, so that
And
things we will cover in that particular thing.
and this target system,
Mm,
like Informatica
mm,
and everything, target system
mm,
somewhere will, like it should be stored in Oracle or somewhere, right? The
mhm,
clean data.
mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
here also is storing in a same way, or it is staying in the
Mm-hmm.
cloud, Snowflake cloud, Azure, or
Completely storing in the cloud.
okay. So target system will be the cloud one. Okay.
Correct. So what we have selected here when you created an account in the last session, so we selected AWS platform,
Okay.
right?
Yes. Right.
Everything,
Right.
whatever we are doing here, everything it will be stored in the AWS cloud. It will be in a S3 bucket in the backend.
S3 bucket. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Got you. Thank you, Dinesh.
Okay. I can
Hi,
define.
hello,
Dinesh,
Dinesh.
there's a last
Yes.
one question from my side.
Yes, Sachin. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, your course will be based on means on the based of CLI or will be based on GUI. Like you will be showing parallelly that how you can implement those things using the CLI, or you will just
Everything.
show
So
us.
both the things, Sachin. So both the things. Okay, so it will
Okay,
be the GUI as well as it will be in a CLI.
okay, okay. Because most of the time we will be using CLI only, right? Like
Yes,
in
everything we
in
are
the
going
real
to cover. So
practice, it will not. Nobody is going to the there, right?
understand your intention. Don't worry about that. We are going to cover some of the things. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Dinesh, one question. So I think the Snowflake, the table is not having the primary key and unique constant. So what is the reason for that one?
In the backend, they build like that. So because every time when a file is storing right in the backend, blob storage, it will use the blob storage and it will create a micro partitions. And when it is coming to updation and then deletion, so there will be a challenges for them. So that's why they didn't given this primary key concept. So that's
One
the main intention
Can we
because of the
store
storage.
unstructured data?
Sorry, come again.
Can we store
Can you?
unstructured data like we store in Hadoop now?
No, unstructured it is not possible. Only semi-structured data only we can able to handle.
Oh,
Hi, Dinesh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, Satya.
actually,
Tell me.
in traditional warehouse, we are going to load the data into distribution key through.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So here there is any concept like, I mean, the data will go into blocks. So on what ways it is going to loaded? I mean,
Understand. So we will see that. So when we are working with the partitions, right? I will
yeah.
explain you. So how the data will be stored. So in this particular session, We have a particular session for that partition and clustering here. Okay.
Okay.
Each and every table data, it will store in a micro partitions, and each and every micro partition, there is a limitation around 16 MB. We will see that in the back end how the micro partitions will be created based on which parameter it is going to create that, and then how the cluster will happen in the. And one more thing is, as a like a traditional databases, right? As a user, we will not create all these things like creating a indexes, creating a partitions, forget about all these traditional things. We will not do anything here. Everything will be taken care by Snowflake from the backend itself. Automatically it will create, but we will see how it will be in the backend and how it will work.
And one more thing.
Mm.
Hello. In warehouse
Yes,
we have
yes.
so many tables we have. So how can we know that which table is bigger and which table is? I mean, here it is only
Mm,
one or
mm,
two tables, but when we go to
mm,
the
mm,
work
mm.
area, so we have
Yes.
I mean
Mm.
500 1,000 tables we have. So how
Correct,
can we find
exactly.
it? Which one is huge table and which one is low table?
Correct, correct. So one thing you can, if you just move your mouse here, you can able to see the table and then size. This is the one option. Another thing is, so maybe you will have so n number of tables here. So you can able to every time you have to go to the like a table name and then you can see. So what is the table size? Instead of that, we have a information schema, right? In information schema, you will have a table details. All that see this one, all the table details it will be available here. So when you fire a query on information schema with the table size, you will get the complete information as a result. That option is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
One thing, how is the market for this, like Snowflakes?
It's good, Dinesh.
Do we have calls right now? In,
Yes, yes,
uh,
it's very good.
and how much experience should I have to put if I want to go into this?
What you can do is you can keep up to 2 years, Dinesh.
Okay.
Up to 2 years. The remaining previous experience you can consider anything.
Okay. Thank
And Dinesh, one
you.
more
And
thing.
what will be
So
the packages for that? Packages.
Package will be generally people are getting more than 100 120% hike also. It
Okay.
depends on the current package, but definitely I can say that we can expect so with other technologies, right? More than 20 30% hike we can
Oh,
expect. Normally we will get like 30% hike, 40% hike on an average if you take, but
okay.
here you can get up to 100% hike also.
Okay.
Yeah, Dinesh, one question that so I mean,
Mm,
this Snowflake is, alone will enough, or do we need any combination, like a
mm,
PySpark,
mm.
something like that? Because it's I understood this Snowflake will act as a OLAP DB, so this alone
Mm,
will
mm.
suffice.
This coming to your question, answer will be Prakash. If you are having only like a 2 years experience and 3 years experience in complete total years of experience, then Snowflake is only sufficient. If you are
Okay.
trying for, let's say, architect position, then you should have the good knowledge on warehouse concepts and then ETL and then reporting kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm having around 8 years of experience. So yeah,
Mm.
because I am having some
What is
traditional.
your previous experience, Prakash?
This is Srinivas, so I'm
Mhm.
having experience in Informatica ODI.
Okay.
Informatica
Informatics.
ODI.
Then that is
Yeah,
enough for you. Yeah. Yeah, you have the Informatica experience, right? ETL experience. That is
yeah.
sufficient.
Okay. Okay. And what next question is that what are the course content you are going to cover? Only Snowflake, or is there any other tools or anything? Just want to know high level.
We are going to cover the Snowflake at the same time. So in the so 1 or 2 sessions, we will see the Python connectivity. So that is one thing.
Do you the
The tools we are
ODBC
not
connected
covering,
and
only
everything?
the Snowflake. Yes, yes. We will see that the connectivity. It's very simple. The integration concept. I will cover those things.
Okay. One last
Dinesh,
question. One statement. The guy was asking what are the technology we should, along with the
Mm,
Snowflake, we should keep to get the job quickly. So you said like if you have a ETL knowledge along with the Snowflake, along with the one reporting tool, BI. Okay. So this will
Mm-hmm.
help to build the resume and get the job quickly, correct?
Yes. Yeah, that is true, Prabhakar.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, I can see hand
Dinesh, one
is
last
like
question.
passing.
Yeah, Dinesh. Hi,
Yes, yes.
this is
Tell me.
Arvind. Yeah, I have only
Mm,
3.3 years of experience. So if I want to
mm,
get the job on the Snowflakes, so should I keep the
mm,
3 years, whole 3.5 years experience in the Snowflakes only, or will I put my ETL testing experience as a 1 year
mm,
and 2.5 years Snowflake?
mm. Do one thing, Arvind. So as you said, like around 1.5 year, you can keep it in ETL testing. Then remaining thing you can keep it in a Snowflake. Okay, up
Thank
to
you.
2 maximum 2.5 years we can mention in Snowflake.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have
Uh,
seen that this Snowflake developer
Mm,
like things in the Naukri. So everything they mention like
mm,
ETL, Informatica, data warehouse, Snowflake. They are mentioning like this in this
mm, mm,
Naukri account. So everything they are
mm,
linked with the
It
ETL
depends.
technology only.
ETL or data warehousing. So it may be so everywhere where they will use a warehouse, right? Where the warehouse they will
Yes.
use in any data warehousing projects. So they will be having like ETL tools and reporting tools. All these things will be the part of the project, right? That's why they will mention all together. If they have along with the Snowflake knowledge, any ETL guys, so if they get it, then that will be good for them, right? So that's why they will give the just generic job description for that. Okay, so don't worry about the resume preparation and all. So I will guide you. So how to like
uh,
prepare your
Hi
resume
Dinesh.
and then talk about your
Hello.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we have I have a database background, DB2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
how it will useful to me? I mean,
Anyway, you have database
you are
background.
telling
That is
only
enough.
ETL and
Yeah.
reporting tools.
Not only ETL. So data warehousing means so it will come under database also, right? So everything what we are doing, so finally it's a data, right? So definitely the database knowledge it helps.
So is it required a Python or Java knowledge? I mean, any
It's
developing
not
language?
mandatory. It's not
Okay.
mandatory.
Dinesh, this is Sirisha. How much
Yeah,
of
Sirisha.
SQL knowledge should we have to proceed the
Okay.
career in Snowflakes? Like, should we be experts
Uh,
or any basic level of SQL knowledge is enough?
basic level of SQL knowledge is enough, Sirish, up to the giants. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, when it is coming to the Snowflake, so we cannot able to write any like a PLSQL procedures and then functions and triggers here. So for that, so we have a other like information, so other things. So they will connect to the any like a JavaScripting guy or JavaScripting team or Python team. So we will hand over it to them. So this is only for the loading purpose, right?
Okay. Got it. And
Mm.
one more question, Dinesh, like how
What
different is Snowflakes from Databricks? In Databricks also we use like it is for processing the data. We load the data from the files.
Mhm. Mm.
Uh, I'm trying to understand like how different is it from Databricks?
So when it is coming to database, almost all we can so consider it's so near to the similar to the Databricks, but only the one challenge here it's we have like when it is coming to like scale up and scale down, it is very fast when compared to the Databricks. Another thing is when it is coming to the pricing part. And here it will support, I'm not sure about Databricks. So here it will support all the like semi-structured file formats like JSON, Avro, and then Parquet, all the file formats it will support here.
Okay. And in comparison with AWS Redshift or Data Lake, Snowflakes
Mm.
has little low pricing. So that is
Yes,
one.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a one advantage.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
one thing, what we call like Snowflake developer or admin.
Snowflake developer.
So,
So we don't have any separate like designations for admins here, Dinesh. So the reason behind that is, so we don't do any like admin activities here.
okay.
like taking a backups and then so taking care of disaster recovery, installation, upgradation, all these things, it is not in our hands. The
Okay.
only the thing what we can do is we can create a user's roles. That's it.
Oh, oh.
Hi. Hello.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Kasi, tell me.
Yeah.
Sorry, you are waiting.
So,
Allow me.
no, I just wanted to complete like all other guys. So when you're going to format, right? Like you
Mhm,
have like a customized stuff, right? Like you
mhm,
have
mhm,
space or tab or something, right? So it can
mhm,
be customized there because you in the drop down we have like comma
mhm,
or like tab, right? If
mhm,
if I have a
mhm,
data, suppose I have a tab
mhm,
and like a comma, it will when you like
mhm,
upload it, right? Or so it will throw an error. So do
mhm,
we have
mhm.
like anything customized, like anything like ampersand or anything like there, right? Like two, I
Yeah,
mean like validation part, like
understand
two
your
things.
question. We can do that. We can customization is possible. We will do that.
Customization. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And comma like tab, we can like do we
Yes.
can do, right? Can we write a
Mm.
code over there like in the customize, like it's a kind of query, right? Or condition something?
Yeah, it's a kind of query. We are going to see that in the next session when we are working with stage, right? So we will write a query and then we will do the modifications also.
Yeah. Okay. So at the time, okay. And coming to like a semi-structured data, right? Like JSON
Mm-hmm.
format. So in the kind of
Mm-hmm.
JSON, we do have an object. So
Correct.
when
Mm.
when we have like object structured, right? So will
Mm.
be like key value pair will be there, right? Like we will be
That is.
considering like a
Mm.
key value
Mm.
pair will be taking in like
Yeah.
loading the data.
Understand your question. Your question will be how to handle in simple way how to handle a JSON files, semi-structured data. When you are
Yeah.
doing that, here it will consider it as a variant data type. Okay. So this variant data type, what we need to do is we need to convert into the so varchar or float, whatever it may be, based on the structure. We will convert before loading the data. We will convert this variant data type to the respective structure and then we'll load. So that resolves our solution. That gives the solution for us.
Okay. And like this is like a JSON, like Avaro, what is kind of like a Avaro
Mm,
and some other things,
mm.
right? I'm like just
Parquet,
wondering like,
Parquet, Mongo. Yes, those are also semi-structured files.
but I never had the JSON, we know XML, we know CVS, we know. I mean, I
Okay, I
know
will show you
maybe.
how the files look like. Pocket files, I will show you. So how the files looks like. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and we do have anything auto scripting like uploading and sending back to like a Python. Can we write any like a script where we can like load the data and send to the reporting guys?
We can do that. So if you want any like scripting, everything is possible. So we can do it the integration so within the Snowflake, and then whatever the things we are going to write in a scripts, right? We can execute those things in Snowflake. That is possible.
Okay, that will be like okay. And one of the answers you are
Mm,
giving to somebody like some girl, right?
mm, mm,
So you are mentioning
mm.
about like JavaScript and the guys, right? So I'm purely like
Correct. Wow.
a a JavaScript guy. So I did not
Mm, mm,
understand. So what like
okay.
JavaScript come into the picture here?
Mm, mm, mm. For example, let's say, so let's assume that, okay, let me explain in this way. Generally, what will happen in any data warehousing project, you may have ETL tools, right? Then they
Yes.
will load it into the data warehouse. Then maybe they will have reporting tools, right? The reporting tools, they will have a separate team and then reporting guys will be connected to it. Can be a table view or click view, whatever it may be, right? When it is
Yeah.
coming to ETL, what they will do, they will implement the transformations logics in the
And then
mappings
go
or
to
transformations you will implement. Then final like so data they will load into the warehouse. So this is the thing, right? Generally, when it is for example here for the let's assume that for the data warehousing they are using Oracle for traditionally. Now they are like uh, replacing Oracle with Snowflake. Let's assume that when they are replacing whatever they want to do, so there is a it's a their choice. They can use the ETL tools, existing ETL tools, or they can dilute these ETL tools. They don't want to use the ETL tools. Whatever the
Okay.
transformations logic. So if they want to like convert these transformations logics, so without the ETL tools, then so what is the solution here? So then they can come to the Python or JavaScript. The transformations
Okay.
logic they will implement in the Python and JavaScript, then they will connect to the so loading. So that's the solution. That's why I told that one. Okay,
Okay.
I answered
Got it.
your question, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
And coming to like there, like when you go to like a worksheet, right? So there you have like a WH, like is it like worksheet name or like data
No,
warehouse?
this one,
Yeah,
right? Compute
computation. Yeah.
warehouse.
Yeah.
So it is not a worksheet name. It is a computation layer. It is
Oh,
like
that
we
is
can consider
computation layer.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah, computation layer we are going to select. Because this
So like
computation layer, we
metadata.
can, no, that is different. We can create
Like,
it here. Let me show you something. Like a mission, for example, when you are connecting to this, what will happen is, so this is all we are doing in a cloud, right? So when it want to connect to the storage, there should be some intermediate thing, right? So that is nothing but this particular computation layer. See this one? This is nothing but a systems. For example, so if you are working with this one, like we will call it as a sizes, t-shirt sizes. If you, for example, if you are working with a 4 GB RAM, then will be extra small. If you are, for example, I am giving, if you are working with a so 16 GB RAM and good configuration, then it will be a medium. If you want to connect with interact with for data loading extra large, then you can give this one. So this is the t-shirt sizing based the performance of the like compute warehouse, compute machine, we can call it as a compute machine. You just assume
okay.
that, for example, if you want to connect it to your organization applications, what you will connect the VDIs or remote desktops, right? The
Correct.
VDIs will have a configuration, right? So that
Yeah.
particular configuration we are going to decide here. That is nothing but a warehouse here. The same
Okay.
warehouse name you can see it here, which warehouse they are using.
Okay. So do we have any further like a class where we can like this is computation layer I could get to understand.
Mhm,
So anything
mhm.
like further in sessions or anything we
No,
will
we are
discuss
going to
like,
cover each and everything. We are going to cover each and everything. Okay.
oh yeah.
So one by one.
And like in okay. One last question. So when you go
Yes,
to
yes.
like this one formatting, right? A
Mm,
formatting thing,
mm,
there are like couple of
correct.
other things in the choice, like we
Mm,
can choose like further down. I mean, like, oh,
yes.
okay, maybe we'll come
Exactly.
across like
Mm, mm,
later
mm,
time, right? I
mm, mm.
just wonder.
You will see that.
We'll see. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good. Thanks.
Not only this, guys, for every one, so just I'm telling, uh, just keep in mind we are not going to miss any of the futures, any of the topic in, and especially respective to the Snowflake warehousing. We are going to cover each and every topic. Okay. Just wanted to give the clarification on this. Okay. Any other questions?
Just one question.
Yeah, hi,
When we can
Ganesh.
get
Okay.
when we can get the file? I mean, this recording thing. Yesterday I also haven't received.
Recording things, they are setting up a LMS portal for us, for all the students here. Okay, so you can, so they will share the link to you. So once they share the link, so then you can able to see that in a cloud, the complete thing. You will get the access for that.
Okay.
You
And
can
was it
able to see
first
all
class?
the sessions from the
Was it
starting
first?
onwards.
Dinesh, was it first class yesterday or before that?
Yesterday is the first class.
Okay.
Yeah, but some others asking some other question.
Yeah, even I was also about to ask the same about the recording, so I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, you will get it. Yeah, thank you.
Will you show us like any kind of integration with the any ETL
Yeah, we
tool?
will do that. Yeah, we will do that. The integrations with AWS and then Azure and then GCP. So we will see that. So how to integrate that.
Like you
The
said,
same options we will use for
third-party
other
tool, right?
integrations.
Yeah, third-party tool you said about. So will you show any kind of like 30-minute session or something so that we will be
Yep,
understanding
we will
for
see
the
that
get
for the
started?
yep. I will take care of that. So Matillion, we will see that.
Okay.
That is a ETL tool.
Okay.
Thank you, Dinesh.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Okay, fine, guys. So please practice this. Okay, so we'll try to send the recorded session to everyone. So I will send these files to your email IDs. Could you please go ahead and then practice in your system? Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow. Sorry.
Thank you, Dinesh.
Thanks.
The weekend, right? Sorry, we will connect on Monday. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.